What's up, my alphas? Welcome back to Leading the Pack. I'm your host, Dom Clegg. I'm a mental performance coach and former football coach dedicated to helping you turn your mindset into your ultimate weapon and help you become the alpha of your life. Now it's time to level up and lead this pack. Let's attack this work together. Today, I'm very excited. I have a close friend and mentor on with me, Bryan Edwards. And to talk about Bryan is not just a builder of homes. Bryan's a builder of people. And Bryan's the president of Hughes and Edwards Builders and has turned visions into reality in both business and in life. Beyond being a premier luxury home company and builder there, Bryan has a deep passion for personal growth and helping others reach their potential, and he has taken on challenges from 75 hard to running 2 half marathons, as well as he has his own motivational juice boost videos that he posts every single day. So if you're not seeing it, go follow him on socials. I'll put them in the description, but they're awesome to listen to. And it's helped just bring heart, resilience, and the unshakable drive to other people as well as himself. So today we're going to just dive into what fuels his success and how he balances serving his business while still serving others. So Bryan, thanks for coming on Leading the Pack.
Thanks for having me. This is an honor, and it's great to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you too. We'll just dive right into it because you know me, I like to get right after it. But I want to know what your hunger or burn is that has been essential for you to fuel your success, both personally and in business.
You know, Dom, that has evolved over a period of time. And to start off with, let's go back a little bit. I am. You don't ever get out of it. I'm a people pleaser, and so being a people pleaser, you worry about everybody else, and you don't really focus on you and what you want and what your passions are and your desires. And so, I spent a long time in my life just trying, taking care of everybody else, but feeling hollow. And I've done a lot of challenge-based activities or events, things of that nature. You talked about the half marathons and other things. And when you talk about burn, the true burn came out. I'd never even heard that before until meeting Ben and
Yep.
how I got to meet you. We always talk about the why and the purpose, but we don't really talk about burn. Why and purpose. I struggled with that, trying to figure out what is my why. And I was looking for these huge, overreaching, phrases and things of that nature. And I never could do it. Then Ben introduced us to the burn, which is really it's just what's that fire in the belly that just ignites everything and helps you to go. My burn at the moment is never waste a day. Be the standard. Um, be strong. Lock the gate. Uh, you know, had to me think about this. I do it every morning. It's easy. Lock the gate, burn the boats. I got it. Never go back. And never go back was added after 75 hard. And you and I both know that because we did it at the same time. So my biggest where I come from that is that life is a gift. Every day is a gift. And so the burn is I'm an encourager. That is the God-given talent that I have been given. And I struggled with that for a long time because Don, I thought that was a weak um, gift to have, but it's really not. And I finally accepted that that is mine. And so being an encourager, that's what gets me up in the mornings and to motivate people. But for having them, what I want to do is I want to help people break through their mental barriers to unleash their ultimate potential.
That's
So
awesome.
that's the burn of mine. And you get up every day and you go. So but it's evolved, and I have to thank Ben Newman for that help. And so that's where that burn comes from, and it kind of helps all of that to get to segue back. Another thing that really made a big change for me was in '07. I walked away from a plane crash, and it was 4 people were in there, and we were blessed to miss a grove of trees, miss a pond. When we crashed, we slid, but God just said, it's not your time. We've got things to do. And when I talk about never waste a day, it gives every day a whole new meaning to me. And I don't have any trouble getting up because it's like, this is a gift. for me to be able to get up and go and do versus sleeping in. So,
Absolutely. That's amazing. Amazing story. I actually didn't know that about you, which is like crazy because I know we talk
yeah.
and everything that just never came up. But I honestly, when you talk about encouraging people, it's
Mhm.
for me, from what I know about you, you are just that is you. Like when we are doing Ben's unrequired workout together in St. Louis last year, or
Yeah.
yeah, St. Louis last year, you're I know you're dying like me, but you're still encouraging everybody else. And it's like you're looking at it's like maybe it's part of that people pleasing a little bit, but it's also now you realize I'm not here to people please them. I'm not here to do things for them. I'm here because I actually want them to get better. And I really think that's cool because for my burn or my hunger, it's about our family of three, inspire and empower others, which is that encouraging part, and then maximize today. Because for me, my experience with losing my dog, it has taught me every day is not guaranteed. So it's the idea of I need to keep attacking those days, and it's very similar to your never go back and making sure you lock the gates and maximizing every single one of those days. And I think that's so cool. Is there like any like core beliefs or habits that have kind of developed over times that kind of help you with that success or kind of keep building or wanting to encourage more people?
There's a lot of them. And I kind of thought a little bit about that, and some of which you will resonate with. But a big one really is standard over feelings. Do not allow your feelings to dictate how you show up. Because, and we can use the example of us going through 75 hard. You embrace that suck, brother. And there are days when it's like it's 5 o'clock, it's 0 degrees, and you're like, and I don't want to do this. I'm tired. I don't. It's cold outside, but I've made a commitment. I have made a commitment to other people and myself, and that's another one is keep the commitments you make to yourself. That I'm going to make this happen. So you have to do it, and it's just you have to get to the point where your your commitments are like a covenant that you don't break them. It's just it's what you do, and that's a hard mentality to go through because we can all convince ourselves I don't want to do this. I can justify anything. But you can't do that. You have to just say this is non-negotiable and this is what I'm going to do. So one would be the standard over feelings. You should say core beliefs. Another one that my dad, I was blessed with great parents, and they are still both allowed to be married for 60, I think about 65, 66 years now. Um, and they were high school sweethearts, if you can believe that, long, long ago. Anyways, leave things better than you found them. And that's a big one too, because a lot of times we can get disgruntled or, let's say you have a job and you're disgruntled with that job and you want to go find another one. Don't burn those bridges. And you give 100% no matter what you do, but you leave it better than when you found it. And that's integrity and that carries forward. That says a lot about you as a person and you're leading by example as well. Um, so those are two that I have there. But the big one is that every day is a gift, and that don't trip on what's behind you. And tomorrow's not here yet, so you got today. So what are you going to do with today?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the standard of feelings one when Ben taught us that back in Coach to Coaches.
Yeah,
It was the first time I heard it, but it was like for me, I was like, this makes sense because my feelings are up and down. Like there's a lot of times. I mean, 75 hard is probably the best example,
yeah,
and there was multiple times that it's freezing cold outside. I don't want to do this. I don't feel like it. I want to just curl up on my couch and do nothing. But you made the commitment, right? You That's the standard right now for 75 hard is you have to go do this 45-minute walk outside, whether it's a walk, a ruck, whatever it is, a run, and you got to go do it. And I have learned truly through 75 hard that I still can do hard things, but I can also commit to doing hard things. I don't have to just do it randomly when I feel like it. It's no, I can commit to doing it and keep doing it. I also liked your leave things better than you found it because it took me back to like when I was 8 years old playing
mhm,
soccer and
mhm,
they bring the orange peels out for halftime
yeah,
and all the kids just then run off. I was the kid. I was one of the kids that just run off and your
yeah,
parents come back and like, no, you need to clean this up. And then you clean up and then there's like a piece of trash that wasn't yours and you leave it and they're like, no, 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 you pick that up too.
that's right.
And I think that's like a really cool thing to bring back because I even myself have kind of forgotten that, have realized that like this place is good enough, I can move on. This place is good enough, I can move on. Or whatever it is, I don't need to make it better necessarily because I gave enough. I did
Oh yeah.
enough, right? Which is a scary thought to just be like, oh, it's enough, right?
That's that never finished mentality too. And there's the other saying that we've heard from Ben, from Nick Saban, um, and that, oh God, now I've forgotten it.
How you do one thing is
How
how you
you
do
do one
everything.
thing is how you thank you is how you do everything. And there's so much truth to that. And I have brought that into the business as well with employees and others, because you see how, if they're showing up late, okay, they take pride in their work, but yet they can't get there on time, or there's any number of things that happen. There's always
Where
an
they
excuse.
walk through the house with dirty shoes when they don't
Yes.
need to or whatever. Yeah, it's little
You say,
things, right?
Excuse me, what are you doing? Yeah, absolutely. So it's how you, and that's very important. And it's just leading by example and doing the things we need to do. So I agree with you on those, and it's how the importance for you when you're leading all of these athletes, all of these teams, you're coaching. I mean, you've got such an impact on all these people, and it's been a blessing to me to see how you impact and lead and individuals, and you're living the standard. I see it. I watch it. And I think that is it's really fun for me. That encourages me as well to watch
I,
you do that.
well, I appreciate that. I do my best every day. I'm human just like you, right? I don't always hit the standard, but the I work to it every single day, and I that's why I think one of the things I say is attack the work, right? Even
Mm.
though you may not succeed, even though you may not hit what you want or hit the standard, you go attack the work every single day and you get better from it and you find a way to improve on it.
You do, and I love how how you define success too. A lot of people look at it different ways, and really, first, it's about the process, and it's falling in love with that process, and it's like the commitments that you make to yourself. Did you keep them today? And did you give, we talk about what, touching the line? That's a big one. Did you touch the line today? Can you look at yourself at the end of the day in the mirror and say, I, Dom Clegg, gave it everything I had. And if we do that, that's a successful day. And
Absolutely.
and I have to remind myself of that too, because it's like, man, I have this to-do list that's longer than, it's super long, and I'm like, I didn't get any of that stuff done. God, what a bad day. But then you look at, but did I do the important things? And
Absolutely.
and so it's, yeah, absolutely.
That's I think that's the one thing I've been learning as a solo entrepreneur and also working a job while I do this is that the day that I have planned out for myself may not come true. And that used to be so frustrating. Like I would just stop. I just like, well, I'm just not going to do this. I'm just going to do whatever I need to. And I get through the day and we'll get to it tomorrow. We'll do something tomorrow. And I've realized like adversity is going to hit. Right. And I mean, I knew this as an athlete, but like thinking about it now you don't think about it as adversity as much as when you're like an athlete and maybe the ref doesn't call something for you. But
Yeah.
the uh the idea of like adversity is going to hit and you just got to be flexible. You got to be
Mhm.
able to understand I'm still giving maximum effort of whatever's coming through even if I don't get my to-do list done, but I'm still going to give maximum effort on everything else.
Mhm. I love hearing that from Dom Clegg, because a year ago we've had a conversation and it was different. So think about that progress of where you were then and where you are now. That is awesome. So I agree with you though. I mean, we have to do that, and it's another one that I talk about is the fact that we do the morning work. You got to work on yourself in the mornings first before you go out and you can take care of everybody else. And a saying that Garrett J. White had is that you kind of do the work before you go to war, because once you feet hit the door, you're going to war, and every plan you have is not going to happen as you made it happen. But if you've done the work on yourself to prepare yourself through your prayer and journaling and all those, all the morning work, it doesn't matter, because okay, but you're not going to get derailed. It's going to hit, but it's like, okay, I got this. I can handle this. As solutions over problems, and how quickly can I pivot? How quickly can I jump into that and make that change? And then one question a lot of times I'll ask myself, and from the books you and I have read, what is one thing I can do right now that can improve my situation? And I find myself, especially in the building business, that happens like every minute. Because I mean, it's things are changing. I call it for a football term, it's audible university. You never know what's going to happen. I can jump on the job site, nobody shows up, or these people don't show up, all these things happen, and it's like, okay, it's all right. What can I do right now to improve the situation? So I agree with you. Adversity hits. You just got to say, Jocko Willnick says, good,
Good, right? Yeah.
good. I'm like, oh, okay, let's go.
Well, that goes back to like I talk about, or Ben talks about reframing. I use reframing with my athletes and stuff to help them reframe and with their attitude and stuff because it's very easy when things go wrong, they all you see is the negative.
That's right.
And that was a really big thing that I learned last year with losing Maximus was like I thought there could be nothing good from that. Absolutely nothing. And because of that, it has driven me to another level. It's been telling me, hey, you need to go further. You need to do this for him. You need to live this day for him. You need to make sure that you're showing up for Maddie still, even though like things are hard. You got to keep showing up. You got to keep pushing no matter what. And it's just really the idea of you, you're never going to know everything, but there's a way that you can find a good in the things that you know. You're going to be able to find it, but you have to look for it, and it's not just going to come to you.
No, it's not. There's gifts and everything. That is beautiful that you've got that to fight for, and that is that's burn right there. And you got that, and that helps you motivate and impact others. And I agree with you because I always try to tell people there is a gift. And it's like, wait a minute, I'm going through hell right now, but there's a gift in that. And if you quit, you're not going to get the gift. You have to go through it. You got to go through that storm to be able to get to the other side because that's where the gifts are, but you don't see them until afterward. You're going,
Absolutely.
I see nothing good in this. Nothing. And it's just, as you said, you just embrace the suck and go.
Yeah. I mean, talk about embracing the suck. I mean, 75 hard.
Oh,
Let's talk a little bit about that. And then also
take it away.
from a two and a half marathon, like two half marathons, I should say, two half marathons. I'm not a runner, dude.
Mm.
Talk to me about like your experiences and what have those like taught you about pushing your limits a little bit.
It's actually four. And then a fifth one I didn't train
Oh,
for. But here's how that worked. Um, Long story. Back I don't know, it was '06, I think it was. We took the girls to New York. They were in elementary school. We went to New York City. We stayed in Times Square, and they wanted to go to the American Doll store and do all those other things. And I was like, I don't want to do that. So I said, I'm going to go from Times Square up to the Museum of like American History. I didn't realize, Dom, what a city block was in New York, and it was like 40 or 50 blocks. And I had to stop. I can't tell you how many times I was just like, oh my gosh, this is just, I don't think I'm going to make it. I eventually made it up there. I got a cab back. But all that to say that at the time, we saw pictures. When we got back, I saw pictures of myself of that trip. I looked like the Michelin man, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. I was 50 pounds overweight. And I said, this has got to stop. So I decided I was going to hire a trainer, and I made it hard on myself. I was not a morning person at the time. I set those appointments up at 5 a.m. I had to get up at 5 a.m. I had to get earlier to be there at 5 because that's the only time I could do it with the kids. They were elementary school. My wife was traveling a lot, so it worked out. So that was the start of this. Well, the trainer that I was working out with said, hey, we're going to do a half marathon as a group. There's a bunch of us. And I'm not a runner either. I was like, okay, all right, why not? Let's try this. We trained from February until the marathon was in the last week of April. And I'm talking, you have running, we were lifting and we were running and we had speed work. And I trained like this, like it'd be football or anything else. Because I played 1 year in college, up through 1 year in college. But anyways, so we trained that whole way and we ran that. And so I ran like a 2:02, 2 minutes and 2 hours and 2 minutes. So then the next three, we did the same type of training, but every time, Dom, I was like, I am getting a PR. I am going to do better. And each time my time improved. The next through the next three, I got down to an hour 43. So I went from 2:02 down to there, and I've done a couple other things. So I said, okay, that's enough. But there were plenty of times, brother, where it's like the long runs and everything else. I was like, no, I don't want to do this. But it was a group, and we committed, and it's like, okay, I got to do this. And I was doing all those long runs and everything else. So that was a true testament in consistent discipline, perseverance, just sticking with it and
Mm.
embracing myself. And so, yeah, but I didn't do it by myself. Could I have done that by myself? Probably not. So that taught me a lot. It taught me a lot about myself as well. That I do have that switch that I can flip when it's getting bad. I got a switch that just goes boom. I can flip it and say, just it's go time. Let's go. Um, and then I had told you a little bit about I did another program that was Wake Up Warrior, and we worked along the same lines there. It was a challenge based deal, and at the very end of that, we had what we call the impossible challenge. And in various areas of our lives, we had to pick four things that we couldn't do today, but in 90 days we could be able to do that and work through those and report and do that. So that was really good as well. But 75 hard, I hadn't done anything like that in a long time. And Ben challenged me, said, I think you need to do this. I think this is really going to elevate you. And the reason that I did it though wasn't the physical. It was not the physical. I wanted not to be able to recognize who I was mentally when we were done with it. And I think a lot of people, as you and I talk, think that it's the physical part, but not really, because you're not going to be sculpted and all this. You and I both lost weight. I lost more than I thought I was going to lose, but it was more about who I was going to become as a person, and the capacity, and also I feel like I gained a lot more from thinking deeper and really just becoming more in tune with people and with wanting to make a bigger impact and being able to want to just to care about people more. It was weird how all that stuff came out. And then when I found out you were doing it and others, it made it even more fun. I was like, okay, I'm good here because of the encourager part. And it was fun to watch your journey as well. And you got to do it with your wife, which I think is such a neat experience.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, what talk about a marriage builder, or it could be the other way. But I know for you all, it was a marriage builder.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it could have went another way, for sure.
Yeah,
But no, it was awesome to work with her and to also see her sometimes, knowing that I wasn't up for whatever we needed to do and taking lead on that and being able to lead me a little bit, which severely appreciate because I don't know if I wouldn't have been able to do it without her. But yeah, it was really cool to be able to see that journey and do that journey together and just kind of build that accountability relationship of knowing, all right, this is where we can push a little bit harder. This is where we need to maybe understand an emotional connection or level and not necessarily be like Coach Dom or something like that. Like I still be be
yeah.
your husband instead of be her coach.
How did that make you feel how were you able to handle when she was taking that lead? How did that resonate with you?
It and it showed me that I had picked the right person. It showed me that because I always talk about alphas, right? And there can
Yeah,
be multiple alphas. Well, even in like a true wolf pack, there's multiple alphas. Like there's a female alpha and a male alpha. And I was like, yeah, I married an alpha and I loved it. I was like, she's down for the cause. She's down to improve. She's down to show up for me when I need her and just like I am for her. And
yeah,
it was so cool to see her. Not that I don't think that she couldn't lead because she's an absolute amazing woman, but like, and she's done a lot of great things and led other areas. But just to see her show up for me that way, um, again and again and again each day was
yeah,
awesome, and we weren't gonna let each other down.
yeah. That's neat. That's how you build it. We've been married, golly, 36 years, and the first couple of years, yeah, you honeymoon, the romance, all those things, but then it really becomes about the blocking and tackling, and it's just being committed. It's about the commitment, and because there are times when you want to kill each other, and it's like, you know what? I do, but I love you and I'm committed, and this is for better or for worse. And after 36, yeah, we've been through better or worse, but we're still there, and we got the battle scars to prove it. But that's what it's about. That's the journey, and it's a beautiful journey.
We both talked about how if we didn't have each other, there's no way we were surviving 75 hard on our own. And that was like a really cool thing to like just realize like we're both really great apart. Like we're really powerful, great people apart, but us together is even stronger. And that
So
was really cool to kind of see like that we when we work together as a team, we actually are better than if we're working as individuals.
I think that's neat. That's the way it should be.
Which for sure. But
That's the
which
way it
again,
should be.
we're about to be year 2 in July, so still
Yeah.
figuring this out.
You will, and I'm still figuring it out after this. I mean, it takes you go to different levels, and but you always got to figure it out. I mean, and you grow and change, but yeah, just embrace it and go with it and enjoy it. And yeah,
Yeah.
there are times though it's like, oh no, what have I done? But no,
Yeah.
the commitment's
It's
there.
it's been great though. It's to be able to do that together kind of really just pushed us to understand again we can do hard things. I think that was really cool and we can do hard things together and we can also do hard things apart if we need to, but it was just like
Yeah.
it was really cool to be able to understand that a team is still better because I also have to kind of drive that home a little bit because she is a gymnast. She's used to doing things on her own.
Yeah.
She was a diver at one point, so she's used to doing things on her own. Where I'm a big team guy, so it's also me learning that I can do things on my own. I don't have to have a team all the time, but I have a great teammate if I need one.
That's exactly right, and that's important. And we could do hard things, but did you also did you how'd you feel about your confidence level as you went through 75 hard?
Oh, I mean, I just day after day, just seeing myself show up again and again was it goes back to you talking about keeping promises to yourself, keeping the
Hmm.
commitments to yourself. The more you keep those, the more you build confidence that I can do these things.
Hmm.
I can do whatever I commit to. I don't have to necessarily commit to another person. I can commit to myself to doing something. So that means I'm a better person. And you could see the growth over time. And I think that's why I like the like Ben's prize fighter day. I call it the alpha day, but like just seeing yourself show up again and again and again, checking these things off, showing that I can show up consistently to a commitment, which then helps you have more confidence in who you are and who you're building to become.
I see it in you, and I think it's a beautiful thing. I mean, it's absolutely, and we all need that. And then we hope that our light shines to other people, and they see that, and they say, "Hey, I want." They got something. I don't know what it is, but I want to know about it, and it allows us then to share and to put into their lives as well, and put energy into them.
I
So
think that's the one of the coolest things that I like about when I go to speak to teams or groups is I don't get a rush because I'm on the stage. I get a rush because I know that I'm encouraging them to do something about their life and improve their life. And that's what I think actually excites me more than anything. Initially, when I was an athlete, it was like, I want to be under the bright lights because that's the cool thing, right? Like that's where all the cool people are, the pros that do that. So I want to be like them.
yeah.
Now it's like I get me under the bright lights so I can go encourage people. I can go inspire them, empower them, making them better people. And I know that you do the same, and maybe it's not on the stage, but you do it every single day with your juice boost, with your in your work, with your family, with the people that you train. I know like you have a little mastermind that you guys train all together, like all that stuff. I want you to talk about how that like juice boost came around because I love those videos. So I want to know like kind of where that started.
You know, it evolved because the first thing that happened was I was encouraged to post online every day. And I was not comfortable at the time actually, getting on there and posting. So I was finding quotes. I was finding them everywhere. I found a great site and I was like, okay, these are great quotes. And they spoke to what I wanted to say, but it wasn't me. It was the quote. Then you get to a certain point where it's like, man, I'm running out of these. And now what am I going to do? And so I think we had just come back from a mastermind experience. I can't remember what it was, but I said, okay, I'm going to post a video. And then I was like, well, what do I need to call this thing? What am I doing to, what do I want this to be about? And I don't know, one thing led to another, and I kept coming up with different things. I was like, we talk about the term getting some juice. Let's get some juice. Let's go.
Gotta
And
bring
so
the juice.
the juice, that's exactly what it was, is I'm bringing you some juice, some encouragement, some enlightenment. Let's go and try to come with something positive, something meaningful where we can sustain or create long-term growth and sustainability is what I really want to do. Because it's not for me, and like what you do, it's not for you. It's for others. And if I can reach one person, that's a victory, and that's worth doing. And I still don't get a lot of likes and other things, and I'm not the social media expert, but that was the genesis. That's how it started. And what's hilarious, Dom, is my mother-in-law. I have an aunt. I have other family members that all there's like, hey, where's my juice boost? Hey, are you doing a juice boost today? What is juice boost today? And then I have friends that I have not talked to since high school who will send me a message. However they find me, and they'll say, "Hey, I really what you do, your juice boost has really spoken to me. I was going through a hard time, and they've really helped me. I really thank you for doing them." Just random, and I don't get them all the time, but you get those, and that's enough encouragement to say, "Okay, let's keep this up. Let's go." And again, I don't do it for myself. And if you did it for yourself, then I'd be in it for the likes and all the others, and I would have quit a long time ago. But I think it's important because that's a ministry and impact that I want to make, just like what you do with your podcast. And eventually, I hope to get to that point, but I'm not there yet. But so yes, that's how Juice Boost started. But yeah, and some people now, my nickname is Juice. I didn't ask for it. It's like, oh, there's Jews. It's like, okay, yeah. So I think
That's
that's
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
no, that's awesome. Juice Boost, like, so I send out a daily text to all my clients
yeah,
every single day, kind of like what Ben does, do something similar. Sometimes I use his, sometimes I
okay.
come up with my own. But have you ever found that the Juice Boost is also for you at the same time, though, to like help encourage you or inspire you or kind of bring up something that maybe you were dealing with?
Most of the time, Dom, they come because I don't. They hit me. I pray about it, and I say, what is the message? God, that we need to talk about today. What is it that speak through me on this? And not they're not always spiritual, but they're things that motivate. So absolutely, because a lot of times we'll be at the gym in the mornings and lifting because I usually do them after I'm done. And then it just hits me. It's like, okay, today we're going to talk about this. Today I want to talk about this. Sometimes they're good, they're bad, whatever. But if they again reach one person, so yes, no, they are. I'm speaking to myself as well. But okay, come on, quit feeling sorry for yourself. Get up and go. Make things happen.
I mean, I figure because I've done the same thing where I've sent out a text. I've been like dealing with maybe failure, right? That was like I think today's was I was struggling with just like being again. I talk about being okay with failure, but I still struggle with it myself. So I was like, all right, what would I tell myself right now if I was struggling with this? And so then that's the text I sent out to everybody because I figured if I'm struggling with it, there's a possibility that they're struggling with it as well. And if it helps, great. If it's something that they already know and it's just reinforcing, perfect. Whatever it is, as long as it's helping them.
I love. I'll take the reinforcement all day long. I do, but that's what it is, repetition, and I agree, and I'm the same way because if you're dealing with it, somebody else is. They are. But I have posted before. It's kind of like nobody's gonna. That's not gonna resonate with anybody. And then I get a message. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So yeah, I agree with you.
It's
It's
actually the one. I feel like it's the videos that I think are the worst that actually end up somehow being the best, and the ones that I think are like dynamic and are going to get all these likes or whatever, and I think it's going to go like be really good. They
the
get like
zero. I
yeah
know it.
one zero like
You're like, man, I just nailed this, and it's like cricket. You're like, oh, okay. And then when did you say that was really bad? And then everybody's like, Dom, that rocked. So I really appreciate that. You're like, okay.
yeah.
Just like go figure. Just keep on doing it.
Just
Keep
hey,
doing the
figuring
rest.
out as you go, right? Improving daily, just finding ways to get better, and then you like look at that and you're like, okay, well, what did I do there? Maybe it was because I was fully authentically me. Maybe that's why I came across as opposed to the other one where I was trying to hype people up and be like this guy, and I thought it was great, but it wasn't me, right? It wasn't exactly me. It wasn't my genuine self. And I think that's a cool thing that I see from most of the juice boosts that I've seen is
Mhm.
genuinely, authentically you, and it's not you trying to be somebody that you're not.
That was a hard lesson for me to learn, to be authentic and to love yourself, to be okay with yourself. To be able to say, you know what, I'm a good guy, and I'd have a beer with me. I would have a beer. I'm an okay guy. To be able to do that, and we have to be that way. We have to be able to love ourselves, and authenticity. Being authentic also is being vulnerable, and people don't like to be vulnerable, and I'm learning to do that. Because you're going to take criticism no matter what. It's just the way it works. So why not just be authentic, be yourself, speak your message, and go from there. I agree with you. Yeah.
It was actually funny. I don't get this a lot. This is the first time ever it happened. I posted a TikTok of me speaking to coaches at this clinic or whatever, and I see someone commented on my TikTok, so I get excited. I'm like, oh, so
Yeah.
this is gonna be cool. And it says this guy said a lot, but he didn't really say anything. And I was like, ouch. I mean, I was me though. Like I was telling what I felt and what I thought, and I was like, you can't please everybody, but if there were again one person it helped, great. Maybe it didn't help that person, and that's okay. I don't need to be someone else for that person. I need to be me for all the people that I can help.
Amen. I mean, I've been other people. I've been other things for other people for way too long, and I'm tired of it, and I'm not doing it anymore. And that's another reason. That's another thing that brought me to Ben and to the program is just like I'm tired of that. I want to be fulfilled in doing what I know I need to do. And number one, figure it out and then go from there. And doing that deep work is no fun. It's painful. It's dark. And another thing, as we're sitting here talking about it, is, the dark side. We all have that dark side, but that dark side can be a friend, as opposed to most people think about it, it's bad. It's not bad. It can be used to motivate or to help you get to where you need to go to be more assertive or do other things. And so that's another thing I've really learned is that part, because being happy, being the easygoing guy, or being nice and gregarious, but we got to have that other side too. We got to have that alpha.
Yeah, I think the dark side though, it's like that scary place, right? It's the scary place that you don't want to go to because there's a lot of bad memories or feelings or emotions that are there. But in order to get there, you have to do a bunch of self-reflection, which is also not an innate thing that feel like a lot of people can do. They don't want to have to self-reflect. They're very good at, we're all very good at looking at someone else and be like, well, this is wrong, that's wrong, I would do this differently. But then like to self-reflect and be able to do that, it's really hard to do that. So I guess how did you kind of go through that? What was maybe some of the things that you utilized to help you not only go to the like find the dark side, but like also understand how to use it?
The main, I have to credit Garrett J. White's program, Warrior, because honestly, we went to hell and we grabbed the fire and we brought it back. And so that's really where I learned about the dark night and the white night, and how to harness the darkness, because there's light in the darkness. And that's what you have to learn, is that you've got light in the darkness. There's gifts in the darkness that allow you. So the first thing is, as you go through that, Dom, is to be able to accept the dark. And you talked about is to face those bad memories, face all the stuff that's happened. Not that it's a bad thing, just face it. Accept the truth. This is the truth, and let's work through this. And how do I work through this to where it works for me and makes me a better person. Um, a big thing that I learned through another program is box breathing, Mark Divine's Unbeatable Mind. And box breathing has been that to me is one of the best tools that I have. It absolutely initiates your parasympathetic nervous system, so rest and digest. It helps you to rest. It helps you to calm, and then through that you visualize. There's a lot of different pieces and parts. If you start out with 5 minutes, and then you can go up from there. And I typically do 20 minutes or so now. But that's been a big one for me to help me to calm myself, then also to concentrate, and then to really start to go inward and see what's going on inside and deal with that. Uh, but you talked about reflection and going through there. It's just facing the dark. Now, how do I use it to my advantage? Okay, being the nice guy, I use the dark night to be assertive, to be not aggressive, to be assertive. And that's hard for me. And I'm still learning. I'm still learning. When I played football, it was easy. I could be that bad guy and do whatever, be aggressive, and it was great. But then I didn't have that anymore. Okay, how am I going to make this? How am I going to make this work? So I don't know if that answered the question well enough, but yes, it's facing it and working through it and accepting what it is, and then how do I want to improve? What was about these bad memories that I didn't like, and how do I improve those for myself and change who I am, and I realize I'm not a victim. I'm never a victim, and uh, I have the choice of whether I'm going to use it to my detriment or to my benefit.
Yeah, I think I like what you said about being able to utilize it to basically not change yourself, but like add a new quality that you need to have for whatever role you're playing or whatever role you're in. And you can take that of this is a hard time for me. I had to go face it. There's something I can pull out of that. And now I can use it today to improve myself and
Mhm.
be able to almost like Ben talked about an alter ego, right? You can
Oh yeah.
create an alter ego, pull that dark knight into being your alter ego to help you get to that next level, get to the next level of your performance, become a better person, become a better father, a better coach, a better business owner, whatever it is, and be able to understand that. But again, it takes that first step of I need to reflect, I need to look back, I need to face the darkness in order to get there.
You do. You can't do it any other way, brother. You've got to be able to accept it and then go forward from there because you got to go to the dark and then but there's light there. And you're exactly right. It's important. And I love alter ego. That's a great book. What is it? I can't think of the author now, but yeah, that's a wonderful book.
Todd Herman.
Herman, and it's there's a lot of truth in that, and we all need that alter ego
Yeah, for sure.
to be able
Well,
to
I know we talked about a whole bunch, and I'm so excited. I can't wait for people to hear this. Is there anything that you would tell your younger self or anybody from the audience that maybe you've been learning recently, or maybe something that stuck with you through time that you would want to express to them to help them keep pushing forward, keep moving forward, or get to that next level of their success?
do. Wow. The
Showstopper for the end, right?
first thing I would say is it's never too late. It's never. And and your greatest self is just one step away. Move. The biggest thing, you don't need this grand, it doesn't need to be big. It's just start moving. And then what you're going to do is you're going to build momentum as you go. And also your journey is not it's not straight up. It's not was it linear or whatever. It's you're going to be peaks and valleys, and you've got to understand that it's you're going to be up and you're going to be down. But there is so many gifts involved in that, so you can't quit. You gotta keep going forward. So it's just one step. I guess the best thing we'll say is don't quit. Just keep moving forward.
Love that. That's awesome. I appreciate it. I appreciate you coming on. We're gonna have you back because I have like again, just like with Bob, I had like five more questions to ask you, but don't wanted to just keep it rolling. So we'll have to get you back on and we'll keep talking, and I'm sure we'll have more things to talk about then as well.
It's been an honor, and thank you so much for having me. This has
Of
been great.
course. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks for everybody for tuning in to Leading the Pack. I hope you enjoyed learning about Brian and his impact on the world that he's making. Don't forget to like or subscribe so you don't miss out. Leave a review if you like it or didn't. That's fine. I'm learning how to deal with that, I guess. And feel free to share this episode with someone who's ready to attack the work. And the plan is, again, keep bringing on more high performers like Brian. I got a few lined up already, so we're going to keep these rolling and keep knocking out some episodes. So until next time, stay hungry, keep leading your pack. Now go attack the work.